y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that, and we be like, all right.
Thank you, Roger Bonds, for putting it out there. It came to life for y'all. It came to life for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. What he look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep.
Gene Deal has been appearing on interviews, podcasts, and live streams, sharing story after story about the hidden and darker side of the bad boy era connected to Sean Diddy Combs. Despite speaking out, Gene says he's been extremely cautious because he understands how much power Diddy has and how far that influence could reach. What makes the situation even more intense is that Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, recently revealed that he was once instructed to go after people who crossed Diddy. His statement doesn't just support Gene Deal's claims, it raises serious concerns about the culture of intimidation and silence that may have existed behind the scenes. According to Bonds, the same tactics that were allegedly used in the past could now be aimed at Gene Deal, who insists he's not trying to start drama but simply telling the truth about what he witnessed during his time around Bad Boy, even if speaking out might come with serious risks.
I've been seeing this a lot online. How you feel about the people that say that you should be worried if Diddy get out?
What needs something to say, bro? I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. And God knows I can bodyguard myself with his blessings. I can bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999, high-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? How I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send something at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique. And they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him? When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know? That made the news.
Let's break this down because what's happening right now goes far beyond a few rumors. It's about the alleged collapse of Diddy Empire, the federal case building around him, and the way former insiders like Roger Bonds and Gene Deal are beginning to reveal stories the music mogul allegedly never wanted the public to hear. The deeper you look into it, the more serious it seems. Roger Bonds isn't just another voice on the internet. He served as Diddy's head of security for nearly a decade, from 2003 to 2012. During that time, he was responsible for protecting Diddy at clubs, award shows, and private events, handling situations most people would never even witness. But while working so closely with him, Bonds also observed how power was used behind the scenes, the pressure, the intimidation, and the control within the inner circle. Eventually, he reached a point where he decided to walk away, and in recent years, he's been speaking more openly about what he experienced. When Bonds talks, people pay attention because his perspective doesn't come from rumors. It comes from years spent inside that world.
So let me ask you a question. How long before you started working with him did you start to see like red flags and did you know like, damn, this... kind of crazy? Was it like immediate, or was it like he gained your trust and you started vibing and you started seeing shit? Or was it like off the rip, you knew like, hey, something up with him?
Now enter Gene Deal. If you've been following this story, you've probably heard his name everywhere lately. Gene isn't some outsider commenting from the sidelines. He was a former bodyguard who worked inside the world of Bad Boy during its peak, when Diddy was building the careers of hip-hop icons like the notorious Big Mace and others who helped define an entire era of music. Gene wasn't just watching history unfold. He was part of the team that kept everything running, standing in the background at sold-out concerts, outside VIP rooms, and in hotel hallways where major deals were made and secrets stayed hidden. Since leaving Bad Boy, Gene Deal has been increasingly vocal about what life behind the scenes was really like once the glamour was stripped away. And interestingly, after Gene stepped away, his eventual successor, Roger Bonds, later came forward with his own stories, backing up several of the claims Gene had already made, which has made many people believe Gene may have been telling the truth all along.
Man, listen here. I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago. And the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, you know, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, you know, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't gotta fear no man. She ain't gotta fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, you know, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And you know, go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And for the people that don't know who Tiffany Red is, that's Cassie's best friend.
That's one of Cassie's friends. She was writing a lot of music, and she said that she was writing music for her friends to get. Oh my God, man, come on, man.
And here's the key difference. While Roger Bonds often comes across as measured, calm, and careful when sharing his experiences, Gene Deal speaks in a much more raw and unfiltered way. His words carry emotion, the kind that feels less like a prepared statement and more like someone finally releasing years of built-up truth. That intensity has helped many of his interviews go viral, but it has also drawn a lot of attention toward him. When someone speaks with that much passion and without holding back, it becomes much harder for people to ignore. And for a figure like Diddy, who built a powerful empire around influence and control, a voice like Gene Deal's isn't just inconvenient, it's potentially dangerous.
Man, you know, a leopard don't change his spots, and Diddy been doing this real long time, bro. He been doing this for a long time. And now another artist, this artist didn't wait 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait 20 years. You understand? He waited a year or two after he stopped working with him and saw he didn't get what he was supposed to get. And he said, yo, listen here, man. I'm putting in my claims right now because I'm going to show everybody what really happened, what really went down. It's crazy. When I was reading it, I read the whole thing. Shout out to Keisha in Kansas City. She sent me the whole documentation, bro. And, you know, the whole court thing. And when I'm reading the stuff, you know, It sound a lot of it sound familiar. You understand? And what I mean sound familiar, how he would get other girls and get girls to try to, convince this guy, or put him in a situation with other girls so he could do whatever he wanted to do with them. And it's just like the situation somewhat with Sarah and her girlfriend and him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? Bringing girls on to try to convince this other guy to be in a room with another naked man and all this other bull. Yo, it all sound familiar, man. I read the whole thing, man, and it was crazy.
And for the people that don't know what you're talking about, because the lawsuit is new, so, some people still catching up with it. Little Rod, he alleges that, Young Miami cousin tried to have in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her for whatever reason. And then when he came out the bathroom, she continued to try to do that and try to have, wanted him to have on Diddy and the rest of the people that was in there. That's how they do, man. They try to use a girl that you might like, or you may think you might like, or they think you might like her, or whatever, to convince you to lay down your guards with them. And he didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you're not surprised by none of this, because you said that Ja Rule, they did this to him, right?
No, remember, and people got it confused when I said that Ja and him was in the room with two girls, with Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend. You understand? He was trying to get Ja to go at Jay-Z. So what he did was try to get another girl, you understand, to do something with Ja. I guess, I don't know, they in the room together. So when they, in that thing, I know what he was planning on doing because I heard the conversation.
Recently, Roger Bonds appeared on a podcast and made a shocking claim. He said that Diddy had once ordered him and others to physically confront Gene Deal and another former Bad Boy insider, Mark Curry. According to Bonds, these weren't rumors or speculation but direct instructions that he says he ultimately refused to fully carry out. He claimed Diddy wanted them to punch Gene and Mark after they publicly criticized him in the late 2000s. The allegation paints a picture of a powerful mogul reacting harshly to former associates speaking out. That's why Bonds' recent warning to Gene Deal feels so serious to many observers. To him, this isn't just old drama resurfacing, it suggests a pattern of how conflicts were allegedly handled in the past. With Diddy now facing intense legal pressure, Bonds suggested Gene should stay cautious, framing his comments less as entertainment and more as a warning from someone who says he witnessed how things operated behind the scenes.
As it's getting worse, you getting older. So as you getting older, you getting wiser. And you understand, okay, this stop. You know what I'm saying? None of this stop because there's nobody there to stop it. And this person is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, what's there to make you stop? You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel like what he's going through now, that's enough to make you stop. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't never went through this and everything you going through gets swept under the rug, it ain't no reason for you to stop. Bonds ain't gonna make me stop. Bonds is just another security dude. Now I see that. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in it and you going through it, that person knows how to make you feel like, yo, you ain't gonna never gotta worry about nothing because this is what they telling you. This is what you seeing. So each and every day, I'm not gonna lie, you hope that that person wakes up the next morning and a red light went off in their head. Say, yo, I gotta treat better. Or I gotta treat a person better. Or I gotta do this. So that's what you hoping. And then you get to the point where you say, yo, nah, make a change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So one of the main things that happened was I got diabetes. Right? I was in Spain somewhere. And I kept going to the bathroom like every 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm like, what are you going to the bathroom for? Somebody said, yo, you know, if you go to the bathroom a lot, you get diabetes. Because you got to remember, we was traveling and moving so much. There was places that we would be at that you wouldn't even drink the water. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, yo, if you from the United States, the water gonna make you sick.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
been to Mexico a few times and got sick as hell off that water.
Oh, for the water.
Yeah,
so you end up drinking sodas and juices all day long. So that's one of the things that happened. So I looked at it as like, that was like one of the ways that God got me out my situation.
So how did Gene Deal respond? With real raw fear. In a recent interview, he openly admitted that he now feels the need for protection. Gene said the threats against him feel serious and that he believes people may already be moving against him, leaving him constantly looking over his shoulder whenever he goes out. It's a striking turn of events. A man who once spent years protecting one of the most powerful figures in music, Diddy, now saying he might need a bodyguard himself just to stay safe. That shift alone shows just how intense and unsettling this situation has become.
Drinking and start popping and passing it to dudes around them. I left from the area and got my own table. You not rocking me to sleep. You never rocked me to sleep. Though I worked for you, you wasn't doing no dirt. That's why my days was with you when you had your kids. Because you knew you couldn't do that dirty to me. And that's a good judgment on your behalf. Roger Barnes got on that show and said, he said, yo, we seen Gene plenty of times. But we knew Puff was a and we had to live in Harlem. That's because we know the same people. When Roger Barnes talk to people about me, they gonna say Gene a stand-up dude. Gene was all right, bruh.
Gene Deal also described an incident outside a courthouse where he believes he may have already been targeted. According to him, a YouTuber repeatedly approached and taunted him, refusing to back off despite being told to leave. Gene said the situation eventually escalated, and he claims he knocked the man out. For Gene, though, it didn't feel like a random confrontation. He viewed it as part of a bigger pattern, someone trying to provoke him, push his buttons, and create chaos while he's already under intense pressure. Whether that interpretation is accurate or not, his sense of paranoia isn't hard to understand. When you're hearing warnings that a powerful figure like Diddy might have people watching you, even ordinary encounters can start to feel like potential threats.
Because I was starting to get sick in the situation. Like I was starting to like wake up in the morning, damn, B, I'm still here. Even though I'm in an exotic country or I'm in an exotic place, I'm like, damn, I'm still here. Because the energy was off. You know what I'm saying? Everything that was going on around you was off. And you were expected just to stand there and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's acquired of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that was one of the things that made me say, okay, it's time to go. So I used my sickness as one of the reasons, like, yo, you know I can't be traveling with you, and you know I can't be doing this, that, and the other. The doctor said I need to be in a stable place. I need to get a certain amount of sleep. I need certain type of food.
So you were trying to pull away.
I was trying to pull away. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I found that they had an opening in Ciroc.
But every viral clip is intensifying the drama. For Gene Deal, the spotlight is both a shield and a target. The more attention his words get, the harder it is to be ignored. Yet that same visibility puts him at greater risk, keeping him in the center of the storm surrounding Diddy.
If you do something to Gene, you're gonna have to deal with Chaz, you're gonna have to deal with Slick, you're gonna have to deal with Cage people, you're gonna have to deal with a whole lot of people that love that name. And that's the politics of Harlem. Roger Barnes know the politics of Harlem. So you have a homo cats out there right now that's talking all that shit. Gene paid his dues. Because I came here and talked about the character of this dude who wanted me dead. I been knew that. He ain't saying nothing I didn't know. Y'all can find somebody else to play with. That goes to show you what kind of dude this is. Instead of coming to the table to save Big and Tupac, he said it. This what kind of character that y'all out here saying, that y'all standing up for. People are still alive. Eric B, Big D, Suge Knight. They was gonna squash this East Coast, West Coast before Pac, before Big was dead. He wouldn't even send a representative to the table. Not a table that he ate off of. The table that he got his millions from is having his ass for dessert. No Diddy.
How many stories are being silenced right now because people are too afraid to end up in Gene Deal's position? That's the real point. This isn't just about Bonds and Deal versus Diddy. It's about accountability, about whether the most powerful figures in music can keep using fear as a weapon, and whether the culture will continue to turn a blind eye or finally demand that the truth comes out, no matter how uncomfortable or ugly it is. What we're seeing unfold right now is the potential unraveling of an empire, and every revelation adds another piece to the story.